Hey there, everyone. We are back today talking about some more comics, and we've got Mars Attacks Judge Dredd here. I didn't know this existed. I just found it at the comic shop the other day, and so I saw that it's written by Al Ewing, and I enjoy Al Ewing in the sense that he's writing the Immortal Hulk, and I love that. It's like the basically one of the only things from Marvel that I like at this point. But yeah, Mars Attacks Judge Dredd, written by Al Ewing, so I figured I'll give it a shot. I like Mars Attacks. I like Judge Dredd. How could it go wrong? Well, it kind of went wrong. So it's like, okay, so this starts out with like this basic thing where you've got these kind of like mega city mafia people who are they're the crime lords of Mega City or whatever, and they're all super goofy. Don Schnazelli, for example, and Don Mumbletti, who just you can't has no text, it's just like mumbling. Don Travolta, who is basically just John Travolta, and Don Hooverbot 9000. It's a very, I mean, they're all goofy, right? So like, Don Uggy Apollino, who is the ape monkey boss. So like these are the five crime bosses, and they're all together, and the son of the previous boss shows up with Mars Attacks Martian and starts murdering them. But so this is the basic thing where like Judge Dredd is like comes into this because he's like looking at this case, and he's realized like, hey, there's a lot less crime in this section of town for some reason. What's up with that? And they find out like, oh yeah, it must be the crime boss is doing something big. So he goes to look at it, and he finds out like, oh, there's aliens. He thinks it's a mutant, and he kills it. And there's a giant bug, and it ends with like Dredd fighting this giant bug in an arena. And next issue, and that's like it's an alright start, but like it feels like too goofy. The stuff that like there's a lot of goofiness in Judge Dredd. I'm not gonna like claim that there's not, because like there's tons of goofiness. But like this is almost too goofy, and then like the cool parts of Judge Dredd is like the goofiness kind of clashed with the weird ultra violence, and there's some of that, but it's not enough to offset the entirely goofy tone. So like, there he he's like bashes in a door, kills an alien, but like it's goofy. Um, so anyway, you go on to the next issue, and you have this kind of, judge fighting the. This like starts out. It starts out really good because like it shows like, okay, all over the world, all these other weird themed crime teams are being wiped out by someone who is enlisting aliens to get their revenge. But like, Judge is in here. Judge Dredd is in here fighting this bug, and the Anderson shows up with her psychic abilities, and she can't read the minds of the creatures because they're blocked by the aliens, the Martians, I guess I should say. But what things with this is like, this is a kind of a goofy scene where like they capture the Mumbletti, who is not dead. He's just like kind of a figurehead at this point. And they like insert a tracking device inside, like they give him like a cavity search, and they just leave the tracking device in his ass. It's kind of goofy. Um, but like the thing with it is that I've read a lot of Judge Dredd. In this kind of it's like none of it. There's nothing specifically bad about it. Like here, like this is a good scene because like it shows like, okay, the Martians are just gonna like whatever blow people away. They don't care. So the Martians, it's kind of a Judge Dredd scene, but everything about it just sort of misses the mark. I can't really give you a solid explanation of why, but like the goofiness is too goofy, and um, the kind of violence parts, the battles are like violent but not exciting. So you get like like they're fighting the Martians here, and like the psychic accidentally makes them shoot each other, and the ape starts joining up with them to kill the Martians because he doesn't want to die. But the thing is that like the Martians have recruited all these people like from around the world to help them in their battle here, but like the Martians just turn on those people and kill them. And that's it, though. But like, it has no bearing on the story. If those people were not part of the story, it wouldn't even matter if they were there or not. So like, the Don's son who comes back with the Martian, like he gets killed, but like the Martians were planning to betray him the whole time. But like, there's no reason for it. Like, it would have had the same kind of effect if there wasn't those characters and the Martians just showed up and were like just could talk to them somehow. Like they have in this thing in the comic, they have a translator that they're using, like it's an implant translator, so like they can understand. But like the Martians could just show up and murder people, right? And be like, we're taking over. And so like it kind of adds this extra unnecessary layer. At least it seems unnecessary because you don't have the same kind of need for it. Like in the ones all over the world they show, it like has no bearing on anything. It doesn't affect anything beyond the fact that like, okay, I guess this is a global invasion. Like you never really see much of them again. Like they all get murdered, but like it has no bearing on like anything. It's just like the other one. So like, eventually you have the battle here, and obviously Dredd has their like a Martian weapon to fight them, and he I mean, this is a cool scene. Like it, Judge Dredd is like, so the Martian is just surrendering. He's just like, all right, punch, dead. But they have got the kind of the ape mob boss who's goofy, and they do some things to fight them, but the psychic eventually like pierces this kind of device they're using to take over the world. It's like a kind of these balls that have an alien brain inside that can block technology. But eventually her and Dredd go inside and defeat the brains by turning them against each other and making them kill each other, and the balls stop and their technology starts working again, and they run off the Martians. Like, it's not a bad story, like, but it feels like it lacks a lot of direction in some places. So like there's a clear story from A to B, right? But there's all this kind of unnecessary stuff that's added in that takes away from it. So like when you're like, I was reading this and I thought like all of this stuff from the first issue where you're showing like it starts in the beginning with the gangs, and then it's like all of this stuff, like there's a bunch of dialogue about the mafia, and like there's a bunch of background story in each issue about the mafia, but then it has no bearing on anything. Like it doesn't matter. So like you feel like why is this necessary? It feels like this could have been much better if it just had like better editing. Like if you just had somebody to step in and say, it's a good idea, but it goes nowhere, so just take it out. Like add something else in instead that's more pertinent. Add some more kind of ultraviolence. Add some more, the Martians doing something stupid, because the Mars Attacks Martians are not like competent. That's why they always lose. They're ridiculous. So like, I don't know. Maybe the humor is more Mars Attacks than it is Judge Dredd. It's like too goofy, but it feels too goofy for Judge Dredd. So like it kind of, I don't know. Anyway, this was all right. I didn't hate it, but I didn't love it either. So like, I paid like $9 for all 4 issues. So like, it was, it wasn't too expensive. And I didn't hate reading it. felt like it was kind of a missed opportunity in a lot of places. And actually, I kind of like, I didn't mention it, but I actually do kind of like the art for this. It's not great, but the scenes that have to be good are really good. So like, when there's this giant bug, or when they're, destroying the aliens, like it looks cool. So I can't really complain about that. The covers look really nice though. But man, it feels like a missed opportunity. That's all I can say. I don't know if it sounds all right to you, pick it up, but don't go out of your way to buy it, and don't spend too much. So that's my take. Anyway, I will catch you guys next time.